we were doing with LLNW.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Is anyone feeling bored? Because I'm not. We also helped form the board. We pretty much like
I got it now.
the board members. So pretty much people you see on the website, like help support us and all that. We pretty much hired them.
Oh my God. I just got what you said. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Give me a
Jesus
minute.
Christ.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alma.
Hi, I'm Jair.
And I'm Luis.
And I'm Sam. Welcome to our very first episode of Charlitas. We are the Mariposas, and we are interns for LLNW, Latino Leadership Northwest. Let's get started with some introductions. First, Pamela.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela. I'm the youngest in the group. I attend Fort Vancouver High School, but I also do Running Start, so I attend Clark College. I'm hoping to get my AA in biology and then continue on to WSUV to get my bachelor's in biology. So that's a little bit about me.
So like I said, my name is Alma. I attend WSUV Vancouver. I'm going to be graduating in the spring. And I'm getting my bachelor's in biology, like I mentioned, but also a minor's in Spanish. My goal and dream is to one day work in the medical setting as a nurse or a PA, so hopefully I'll get there.
I'm also a student at WCV, and I'm majoring in mechanical engineering with a minor in math. What
Something else about you. We play basketball sometimes. You could say we're occasional hoopers. Okay, anyway. So I go to WCV as well. I'm a senior. I'm graduating in the spring as well with my bachelor's in mechanical engineering sciences. They call it sciences. Something else about me. I mean, besides that, like things about ourselves we can say. Are we allowed to do that? Really like movies. I like to, what I'm saying, like do sports. So I was a student athlete back in my day. You know what I mean. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sam. My name is Samantha, but I like to go by Sam. I'm also a senior at WSU Vancouver campus, and I'm majoring in elementary education. I have my minor in Spanish, and right now I'm currently student teaching in a kindergarten first grade classroom. So obviously I'm wanting to be a teacher. But I think my dream goal, or maybe job that isn't reachable at the moment, is to be a photographer for National Geographic because, one, I love to travel. Do I know how to work a camera? No, I don't. But it's in my to-do for future goals. So let's get started and talk about our history between, us and what we do for LLNW and how it started. And I will take us back to a few years ago. Back in 2018, we were all juniors, except for Pamela. We were all juniors at Fort Vancouver High School. And we were all part of a club called Mecha. Who remembers what Mecha stands for? Pop quiz.
Ask him. He don't know.
I don't know how to spell. Movimiento.
Yeah.
Estudiantil.
Yeah.
Was it E next? Chicanx. Atzlan.
That's line. Yeah, okay. We still remember. We still have our Mecha badge.
Shout out to Miss Rivard.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Miss Rivard and Miss Peroni. They slay so much. So back in 2018, when we were part of Mecha, we got the opportunity to attend our very first Latino Leadership Conference, which also known as Clark County Latino Youth Conference, which was hosted at Clark College.
Mm-hmm.
And there, we got to listen to our keynote speaker, who was...
If I'm not mistaken, it was Diana Bentoncourt.
Mm-hmm.
Very inspiring, by the way.
Yeah, so Diana Betancourt is leader and a mentor in the community. Right now, she has a position for City of Vancouver. But Diana was our very first introduction to kind of this world, like this whole community organization. For some of us, it was more personal because she was the first undocumented keynote speaker or literally anybody who got up on stage. And because we know and can connect to that of being undocumented, it meant a lot for some of us. So from there, we attended some sessions, right, Luis? What sessions did we attend?
Oh my God. I remember the one that we both attended. Jordy was never mind. That doesn't matter. But what's it called? It was one about. Was it the nurses one?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was the nurses one, and Diana and was it Stefania were presenting, and I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but like I just like thought it was actually cool. Like I didn't think it was gonna be cool going into the trip. You know what I mean? But like I remember leaving that and we kept talking about it on the way to the bus and all that stuff. And then like, you know, like a few days passed by, maybe a week or so, maybe. And then you two like came with the idea of like, you know what I mean? Like making something and then, you know, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it kept going. I don't know. If you guys want to talk about that part.
What was the other session that we attended at the conference?
I know the conference had 2 sessions, right? And we attended the first one together. But then the second one, we ended up going to different ones. I attended one with Julie Mercado, and hers was about like embracing your identity, your culture. And I remember after that session, I came back to you guys, and that's when we talked. And again, like Luis mentioned, we got together and we discussed, and we're like, you know what? Yeah, we're undocumented. We should be proud. But we also want to, want to do other things. So we want to help our community as well. And that's where we talked with Ms. Rivard, Ms. Peroni, and that led to another life-changing event for us, you would say. Canon event, as some might refer to it.
And lame event, as some others might refer to it, but not us, because we had a blast and we met a bunch of new people, and I think our lives were literally changed. #history.
Should we expand a little bit on that, on what the event was?
Can you start us off?
I think we're talking about the same event, right? La
Yes.
Feria de la Salud Mental?
Yes.
Okay, bet. Yeah, so like after like we had like talked and then like, you know, we were in Mecha. So again, somebody who is like kind of like who helped like kickstart like all this was like Mr. Vard for sure and Miss Peroni. They were like the leaders of like, or not the leaders, but like the advisors, supervisors, advisors, whatever, of like Mecha. And like we kind of went up to them with this idea, and then somehow, some way, we got connected with like Diana Betancourt, and then we got connected with Diana Avalos, which, I mean, if you're watching this, you probably know who Diana Avalos is. So, like from there, we just kind of started having meetings, and then we kind of brought this idea that we wanted to do like a mental health fair for Latino parents, and you know we're like we could talk about like different problems that like we have like as a community, like that they may be facing and stuff. And at the same time, it was also like info session about higher education and all that stuff. And we had like a lot of great speakers, and like you were saying, like we did meet a lot of cool people from there. And it was kind of like the event that kind of like formed the group that you see here today in your screen right now.
Mine do. So we attended the conference in October, and this event that we planned didn't happen till May. So it took us a long time, lot of meetings, a lot of thought put into it to make this event happen. And in this event, we, as Luis mentioned, we got to meet, Diana Avalos. That was our very first introduction to Diana Avalos. We got to meet Ana Betancourt, which was Diana Betancourt, the keynote speaker at the conference, sister. We got one-on-one conversations with Julie Mercado, and we actually were able to have Julie Mercado host a similar session for our parents during the event that Alma heard at the conference. She came and she was like, of course, and she had a session for the parents. And Estefania Betancourt, the one that Luis attended, she got to make a session for parents on, prescriptions and drug abuse and substance abuse and just how to get help, the signs, the symptoms. So it took a lot of work, you guys.
Yeah,
It really did.
We also had food. Like, we needed to plan out food. So shout out to, like, I mean, the only one I remember right now is Marti's Bakery. But shout out to Marti's Bakery for giving us some conchas, because I remember we had that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's also important to remember that when we were planning this event, we were meeting with like higher like people that, mind you, we were high schoolers, right? So talking to these adults was very scary. But again, it jump-started like who we are now. And I think that's something that I'll always like appreciate. And looking back, I'm like, I'm really glad that I had the support because now I'm here.
Yeah, because imagine a bunch of like crazy 16-year-olds telling your high school English teacher, hey, like, we really love this at the conference and I think we should make an event like this at our school. And she's like, okay. And then she just like connected us with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear any, sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I remember actually attending the event with my mom. I was in middle school, and I remember thinking, like, wow, I've never seen this before. This is really new. And I don't know if I'm just, like, a weird middle schooler who finds those kind of things interesting, but it really intrigued me because I was like, wow, this is good stuff. And I remember my mom was also like, this is, like, really interesting. Like, I've never heard about stuff being talked like this. And I remember specifically, like, the one, like, memory that I think about is all the merch that you guys got from Molina Healthcare. I know, that was really cool. And I still have mine, just FYI.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, to show that I was in the background, y'all. I was about to come out.
We inspired her.
She was a background character before she became one of the main characters.
Yeah. Who else did we have? We had Molina Healthcare. We had a bunch of CMAR.
We had YWCA.
YWCA.
You guys had the Fort Vancouver mariachi play.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
And
we did.
And Baile Folklórico.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam.
Shout
She
out to Sam.
performed.
Right.
Shout out to me. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Also, I think a lot of people would ask, like, how are you all so motivated? Like, where did you guys find the motivation to do all of this? Because I think it's something that's not very common between students to just, pull an event like this out of nowhere and then want to do it and then like work on it for literally months and spend several after school days working on it. So what was your guys' motivation?
I don't know. Who wants to go first?
I think Jared should go first.
Me?
Ooh.
I mean, it's kind of in the background, just watching you guys.
Jair was hands-on, guys. He was helping us with
Did
the decorations.
you volunteer though?
I was doing the grunt work.
Yeah, you volunteered. Okay. I thought, yeah, okay.
What motivated me? I don't know.
A friend group.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, I mean, chilling with you guys was fun. So
Yeah.
Are we still fun? He nodded, by the way.
Okay, I can go. What's it called? I guess like you were saying about like the friend group, like, people are like, or like, when we talk to people, they're always like, oh, it's like kind of rare like that you guys are like have been in like doing kind of stuff like this for so long, or like, and like I guess like it's obviously like a big factor is the fact that we're all kind of friends, like that we're all really close.
Kind of friends.
No, not kind of friends.
Sometimes.
But like we're really close friends,
By force.
So okay, well, so it kind of goes even beyond like this, like we see each other outside of this, and we've just kind of like grown up with each other since like high school, like that. So that's obviously like a helpful factor, just because we're all familiar with each other. But like it's also something that kind of I always think about it that from the very beginning, like it just spawned from like at least for like me, it was like it spawned from like wanting to like see certain things in the community, or like having problems with certain stuff that was happening, especially at the time. Mind you, like this wasn't long before a certain president got elected. You know what I mean?
I think it was straight after.
It was straight after. You know what I mean? He ain't doing too well. You know what I mean? Anyway, what's it called though? But like a lot of stuff was happening at the time, and again, like it came from like at least me not being content with like a lot of stuff that was happening, and even to this day, like now that we're involved in it, we see that like there's like problems everywhere, I guess you could say, and in a way that sort of kind of kept at least me interested in like wanting to continue to be a part of it and wanting to continue to maybe help out wherever I can or something. So
I think what motivated me to continue doing that, or to even start doing that event, was comes back to family and my community and how I'm undocumented, and those resources, specifically because we focused on mental health, are not very accessible to that community again. So it was really hard, and I just wanted to provide the community with resources, or just let them know that they're not alone. And yeah, that's my community and my family was what motivated me.
I think like Alma, for me, back in high school, I was very unwell, like mentally. And I think I just really, really wanted my parents to like understand me. And I was like, if I do this and like all the right information is put out and my parents come, like maybe they'll understand. Maybe they'll understand me and they'll see like what I'm going through or what they're going through, because like we talked about, mental health isn't very big in Latinos, like the Latino community. And they tend to ignore it, or they tend to just, brush it away or whatever. But I don't know, like I couldn't ignore what was happening to me, but then I could also see it happen to my parents, and I was like, maybe this will be a good chance for them to, I don't know, work it out or understand or something. Did we? Later on. But yeah, I think that's what motivated me. I think for a lot of us, it was personal, but it was also like an overall wanting for just better for our community. And also the event was all in Spanish. So those type of events are rarely ever seen. Yeah. And so for us to have a platform and then be like, okay, let's do it in Spanish because there's no Spanish events for our parents. That was awesome. We were big-brained, guys.
Yeah.
Big antlers.
And I think that also led to like I said, right? So after that event, COVID kind of came, and that ruined what we had planned for the following year, our senior year, because we had planned making it a bit bigger and opening it to the community, because we're like, yeah, this really helped. But then COVID hit.
Right.
COVID hit. But if you guys want to hear about another podcast where we vent about how COVID ruined our lives, just let us know. And we can.
That was a time.
But yeah, and I remember, fast forward 2019 fall, we attend the annual conference again, and this time it was hosted at WSU at Washington State University, Vancouver campus. And in that conference, we were invited to give like a little presentation on youth leadership. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I was like, you want us to give a presentation on youth leadership? We've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
But we had the opportunity to do that. It was yeah, I mean, I'm like remembering back to it, and I remember seeing all the blank faces on the students.
I remember it went well.
It went well. I hope they still think about it.
I forgot all about 2019. I jumped right into the COVID era.
Yeah.
But no, I think we got a lot of students, and
we did. Yeah,
I think we have one picture.
We do.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a student in our audience who was like big on TikTok.
I was thinking about bringing that up.
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's the student who's big on TikTok." And I remember all of us were like
that, bro. Nah.
I remember all of us were like, "I hope he gives us a shout out." He never did, by the way.
Never did. Shout out to you, bro. Hope you made it.
Actually, I stalked him recently, and he did. Well, he's getting there.
Shout out to you. We're not gonna plug you in, but shout out to you.
I never knew his name.
I don't remember his name either. Sorry.
Shout out to you though. You know who you are.
Yeah, but so we gave a little presentation on youth leadership that fall. But then, like Alma mentioned, March 13th, I think. Oh, yeah. I remember the
You
date,
remember
y'all.
the date?
They said
Dang.
school's canceled for the next 2 weeks. Personal side story. I went home early that day from school because I
That's
was
crazy.
like, I don't remember what, but I called my mom and was like, come pick me up because so blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. And then I'm home and everybody's texting me, school's canceled for the next 2 weeks. And I was like, and then those 2 weeks pass and they're like, school's canceled until further
Right.
notice. And I was like, are you serious? So I never got to say like a proper goodbye to
Well,
anybody.
Mind you, nobody got to say a proper goodbye because
Well,
we were all
yeah.
like,
Actually, I did. My good friend, she was like, "Goodbye, I'll never see you again." As a joke, mind you, it came true.
never
She
saw her again.
manifested it. Oh
Never
no.
saw her again. That was crazy.
Yeah. So then we finished off our senior year of high school.
But
At home.
in between that, there was a lot of resources and a lot of information going about like COVID, and that was only reaching one population, right? That's when Diana Avalos was like, "Yo, can I have you guys come back?" Via, was it Rivard?
Yes.
I think it was, right?
Because we started meeting for like Mecha meetings, and we kind of still wanted to do the virtual, like, come to the meetings. And then, like, we also honored, like, the graduates and all that. We should put a pin on our timeline,
Why?
because there was a seed that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What was it, like 2018? 2019. Like summer.
Yeah.
We joined this, like, after-school club. Founded? Mm-hmm. Founded by, I guess, us and Anna Betancourt.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a lot of stuff in there, too.
Are you talking about Seeds for Liberation?
Oh, right. I forgot to mention the name. But yeah, I think like the first meeting I went to, because like I was doing some other stuff, side mission stuff. And we pretty much started talking about the census and how we pretty much just got a job offer
Yeah.
working with the census
Yeah.
to like getting our like community.
Yeah, getting
to
the
fill
community
to fill it out.
informed.
Yeah, Seeds for Liberation was, I think it was like an organization for us. Yeah, it was like kind of like an after-school kids club, only for cool teens, where we just talked about, like the possibility of higher education and what that would look like for us, and was it even a possibility? And I know we also went on a bunch of like school trips, right?
We actually made what's it called? Fundraisers to go on those trips. I know we did a garage sale. We did the Madre baking sale, and yeah, that. But we also got sponsored by our dear friend Diana Avalos. But yeah, I know we went to UW and Central. And the cool thing, the participants each got a brand new backpack filled with school supplies. Engineers, what did you guys get?
Calculators.
And it wasn't like no cheap like backpacks and like no cheap like, you know what I mean, like stuff. It was like real, like actually really nice, like,
I still have it to this day.
North Face,
I'm
like
using it right now.
Patagonia and stuff that we still like use to this day. I lost the calculator, my bad. I think I lost it the day of.
Lost.
I may have lost the day of, but regardless, like it was actually really nice stuff. And those trips, like we wouldn't have been able to go without, being a part of that group. So
Yeah, we took like a day trip to UW, to University of Washington up in Seattle. And it wasn't just us students, but they also allowed some of us to invite our parents. So some of our parents also went up there. I know that was my first time seeing UW campus. I think that was all of our first time seeing UW.
Second time in Seattle.
Second time in Seattle for some of us. And I know Pamela also got to go to that one too, right?
Yes, I did. I remember it was a very cool experience. Apart from the drive there, that was very exhausting. I didn't do any driving, but like just sitting there was a lot. But I remember getting there and thinking, wow, this is so cool. I never thought about the fact that I'm never that I was never really exposed to like colleges and universities. Like I have all these friends who are like, oh yeah, I want to go visit this college, or I want to go visit my sibling. I'm like, wow, I've never had that actually. So this is like my second time attending a university just to visit it. And it was a very cool experience. Loved the campus, loved learning all about its history and like the programs it has to offer. And I remember thinking at the time, I was thinking, ooh, I want to come here. Those have changed. Those thoughts have changed. But still, it was a very cool experience. And yeah, I was really happy to be a part of just like, yo me había pegado to them. Like, I'm always there, y'all. I was waiting. I was waiting to come out. You know what I mean?
I think also the parents were very excited about that. A lot of them took pictures. There's a lot of pictures.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have a picture of you, Jair and Sam. You guys look like babies.
Yeah.
I think for those parents, it was also like their very first time on a campus, especially as big as UW. Like that campus is huge. And we went in the summertime, so it was beautiful. The
was
sun
really
was
nice.
bright and it was
really
out
nice.
and it was really nice. And to put into perspective, Pamela's first time, and she was like way younger than us,
I was like 13.
13.
So somewhere around there.
And that was her first time.
Youngin'.
And then us, who we were like 17, nearing 18, literally getting ready to apply to colleges, that was our very first time. So Seeds for Liberation kind of gave us like that opportunity to go see, colleges that we might consider. And it also provided opportunities for younger folks like siblings, like Pamela. There was I remember another participant who had a sibling and they also went along. And they were much younger too, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Your brother went sometimes too.
I don't remember
Really?
actually.
Justin.
Let's not mention my brothers on this podcast. no
Drop
plug for
names.
them. Okay, that's Seeds for. So thank you, Jair, for reminding us about Seeds for Liberation.
I mean, he also mentioned the 2020 census, which was a huge thing that we also did. It was targeting the Latino community and having their representation, the 2020 census. I remember going to La Pulga, right? And sitting in the little booth, telling them to sign it and like helping them fill out the census or like
Yeah.
what questions they, and also giving the presentation
Yeah.
at the community room
Library.
at the Fort.
Yeah, the library, yeah.
Yeah,
In downtown.
and were we at in iglesias también?
We
Afuera?
were to St. John's.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
St. John's. Shout out St. John's.
We were out in churches too, y'all. Like they had us out in Las Pulgas, in the churches.
In the place where there was like a
at the
quince, they were having like
libraries.
an expo. Like they were like
yeah,
an
we went
expo.
to-
Oh yeah, they even
quinceañera.
had us at the Quinceañera Expo, guys.
Yeah, somewhere in Oregon. I can't remember where. But
It was here in Vancouver.
It was.
Oh, it's here in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Portland.
Crazy. You guys were everywhere.
Yeah.
crazy.
It was like a little personal story. When we were doing that work, I didn't value it as like it was like a big thing, but people in the community would like come talk to us and like, wow, that's having your guys' voice is very important. So thank you for doing that. Y hasta apareció on Facebook because one of my mom's friends was like, is this your daughter? She sent like a screenshot of like me because like the Colombian was there and they took a picture. And my mom was like, mira, ¿estás en el periódico? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was very cool too.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Look that up, guys. It's real. We're not lying. Look it up. Look it up. Receipts. So that was the 2020 census. And that was the work that we did for Seeds for Liberation. And then, as Alma mentioned before, Jair literally interrupted. I'm just kidding. COVID happened. So, which set us back, all of us. But, like Alma was talking, COVID was really difficult and like dark time for a lot of people. And so some of the work that LLNW was doing at that time, who was previously known as CCLYC, during COVID, they had a little rebrand. And they were like pushing out graphics or like resources surrounding like, health, because COVID was really big in that sector. Because it obviously affected one's health. So they were pushing out graphics online because everything was shut down. So everything had to be online. And then they contacted us, right, Alma?
Yeah, it was, again, I mentioned like, right, it was through Rivard. We were in a meeting and she's like, hey, do you guys remember the Anabnos? And we're like, yeah, because we were low-key a bit scared of her at the beginning.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, we're like, yeah. And she's like, well, she's looking for students to make some content regarding, you know, like how it feels like to be on lockdown and like what things you can do and stuff like that. And then that led to like the content for COVID. But we all agreed it was a meeting, and the ones that showed up were the four of us. And we were all very nervous. But then she's like, I just want you guys to make some videos. It was for a video contest. And we're like, yeah. And that went on for like a couple of weeks. And then she was like, you know what, guys? I like the work you're doing. What do you say you become my interns? And we're like, guys.
I know.
Damn,
When
man.
those when she asked us to do those videos, I was like, because TikTok was really big at that time, so I was like, this is my time to shine, guys. Like, I'm gonna become a
Right.
TikToker.
Yeah.
I literally never even posted on TikTok, so I don't know where those thoughts came from.
Was
but
TikTok just starting at that time, or was it?
It was like
had it
2
just
years. It was-
transitioned to music from Musically? Right.
I think I think it was just getting like popular,
It's just getting
especially
popular.
because everybody was stuck at home and they needed another platform.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That COVID year was like a blur. It's like a blur nowadays. Now that I think about it, I can't remember much. But I do remember like that kind of being the start of our work with Latino Leadership Northwest, and then that kind of like once you know stuff started opening, like, unless I'm missing something in between that, but like once stuff started opening, like the next year, like 2021, it's kind of when we actually started like, you know.
Actually, no, you're wrong.
I missed something.
If I'm not mistaken, right? We we talked about it and we're like, you know what? Maybe this could be an opportunity to bring back the mental health fair via the support of LNW. And I remember we talked about this and we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we should really like bring our ideas to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
And it was like during that time cuando también we got a grant. And that's how the Orugas and Mariposas
Right, yeah.
thingy came to be.
Could I say how we got the name?
Of course.
So back when we did the mental health fair, right?
Yeah, yep.
In high school, we were like, I forgot whose idea it was. Someone's idea.
Probably mine.
Oh, for sure.
We were like, let's make a butterfly and put our hands, dip our hands in paint and put it on
Yeah,
the butterfly.
yeah.
And then we hung it up like it's on Mecha's Facebook that we took pictures of. And then we were like, what should we call it? And I'm like, and someone, I don't know if it was me, was like, what if we call it Mariposas? And someone else was like, what if we call it Orugas? ¿A Mariposas? Orugas a
Yeah.
Mariposas? And then that's why we're called Mariposas.
So like the program, Orugas and Mariposas was like mental health focused, and so you know transformation because an oruga goes into a mariposa, and then like I don't know, we just stuck with the name Mariposa.
When we say like,
We just like the
when
name.
you say huevitos, never mind. I could see why.
Yeah, never mind.
No, yeah, but that whole program was it was very new. And I remember we split up like the topics. We came up with topics, and then we're like, we can't talk about these topics because they're very heavy. So that's when we also started to branch out and we made connections with the community members around us.
Yeah.
And slowly we started to spread our wings, right? And that's how, like, I guess now we're known because we made those connections. We worked with Tyler Monk. I know the
YWCA was one of them.
Columbia River Mental Health, I think we also worked with.
With Rodolfo también.
With Rodolfo. And I think this just goes to show that we just really care for our community.
And I know we're just throwing out a bunch of names, guys, but
If you know, you know.
These
If
people
you-
are
if-
famous.
If you know, you know.
hang in there with us and we'll
Yeah.
tell you in future episodes.
I get
Yeah.
to meet them too.
Pamela, did you get to attend one of those?
I actually did. Again, I was in the background, y'all. But I remember, I forgot which one was the first one I attended, but I remember Alma told me about it. She's like, sign up because you get a gift card too. And I was like, girl, money for attending an hour session? Save
Yeah.
less. I can have it in the background. And so I attended, and I was like, whoa. When I got there, I was like, it was very new. No one else was doing this. because you guys are touching topics that like the Latino community isn't known for talking about and known for like just brushing off. And so it was very intriguing. I learned a lot. I got a gift card out of it. But the cool thing that you guys also did with it, with some of the events, you guys also did an in-person social event to go along with the workshop. And I thought that was very cool because you guys did like an art night where we went to a local Vancouver painting shop, I believe. And then you also did an escape room. That was pretty cool. That was my first time going to that. We went to an aquarium, which was, again, the first time for many of us to go to. Diana rented a whole bus. That was crazy. And yeah, it was just very cool work. And I remember being like, wow, like, I didn't know my sister did all this stuff. I didn't know her and her friends who sometimes came to my house and just like did weird stuff could do all this cool stuff too. And yeah, so it was just, I was scoping out the scenery. I was like, can I be a part of this someday? Newsflash, I was.
I know my mom. I don't know about you guys, but my mom would be like, "¿Qué tanto haces?" Like with them, and I was like, "I do this and that." You know, like we started off with videos, right? And so
we did.
Ever since when my parents talk about like that I work with LLNW, my parents are like, "Yeah, nomás hace videos."
Same.
Yeah.
And I've explained so many times, like, no, like we also do this and that, and every time. Say videos. Okay. But yeah, Orugas a Mariposas was, how long was that? Was that a few months too?
I think it was almost
a year.
Yeah.
Because it was like, todavía no dejaban like outside. And then that's...
By the time it ended.
How many episodes was it? Do you guys remember?
Should we blur out all the topics we did?
I think it maybe
6?
Was
Around
it like
6.
7?
around
6?
I want to say 8.
If you go into Latino,
we all giving out random numbers.
If you go into Latino
I'm pretty
Leadership
confident on the
Northwest,
6.
if you go in the page, you can find all that.
They're still up.
Some of them are on YouTube.
You can find
They
all
are.
that.
And if you want them back, spam our comment section.
Yeah.
And then after Orugas a Mariposas.
So now we're in 2022, right? No? Right? 2022 now?
I think so.
Just to give people a timeline.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
so.
around.
Right?
Because
that happened throughout the year that we had like online school, right?
And then we also had the Clark County Latino Youth Conference online also.
Yeah, right.
2 years
And
online.
that was like the first year they offered it to parents too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mom joined it.
My mom did too. I think it's because also the incentive was there, like gift card, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of the events.
But they do pay attention.
Are gift
They do.
cards.
Yeah.
After Orugas a Mariposas, I think that's when the world started to open up a little bit more. And interviews. We did a bunch of interviews with different community leaders. Right?
Mm.
Almost giving me a blank stare.
I edited some.
She's not about the grind, guys.
I edited some of those videos.
Yeah. So I know one of the interviews that was like another like networking opportunity that we got. Again, literally never in our life have we ever done this. I half the time didn't even know what I was doing, but I winged it. And I remember the one that we talked to was with the doctor from Peace Health.
That was one of my favorites.
And because we were trying to target COVID content, it was on the vaccines.
In
And just in
Espanol.
an informational, Spanish one. And that was, I remember telling my mom, we're going to be YouTube live in a few minutes. So if you would just want to hop on.
We were live?
Yeah, we were live.
I bragged to my Spanish teacher. I was like, hey, I'm going to leave a few minutes early because I'm doing this one thing. She's like, en español? And I was like, yeah. She's like, buena suerte. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so we did a few of those interviews, right? And then after that, we just, our role as an intern in LLNW became more
A staple.
stable and permanent and with like daily.
Because we met our program coordinator, Rose.
She flew
Shout out to Rose.
She flew into our lives.
A real one.
She flew into our lives.
She's big dog.
She's our mariposa keeper.
What do we
Yeah.
call her for
Mariposa
the
mom?
conference?
Oh,
What do we call her for the conference?
I bet you right now she's like, it's this, you guys, but we literally can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met Rose. I think the first time we met Rose was as one of the sessions for Orugas and Mariposas, and it was the escape room.
I that's the first
Well,
time.
we met her.
her.
That
Oh,
was
that
like
was-
physical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
in the physical. Yeah, the
in
physical
person.
realm.
That was our first time meeting her, so we'd had talked to her a bit through Zoom. But that was our first time in person.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, I'm trying to remember when like we started doing more in-person stuff.
The wish and stuff.
I
Kind of.
think before that we were at Collab, no? Doing some like meetings here and there. I don't.
Well, I remember like, so they signed up for this new grant, right? And they were like, oh, we want to make this sexual health like sessions for like parents and their teens.
Yeah.
And then we started off like, was it called Wishing?
Yeah, it was.
Like the program or something?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like we were already like established by then.
From what I remember, it was like we were doing Wishing, and then we on the back of end
Yeah,
we were doing
yeah,
Wishing,
yeah,
and in
yeah.
the front we were like, okay, let's start getting more involved in doing
Yeah.
social media like TikToks,
Yeah.
we started off doing community interviews. Those are on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then social media facilitation. What was another one? Making blogs. I think that's a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are like what we mainly do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wish and stuff was in the back, which was we started off like doing. What was the name? They had like a name where we like went to schools and we like asked the teens questions about sexual health and all that.
A focus group?
Focus group. That's what it was called.
Also, wasn't Pamela part of our team by now?
Yeah, I joined spring of 2022, my sophomore year of high school. And I remember Alma told me, oh, because I had seen all the cool stuff she was doing. And she like came up to me and she was like, would you be interested in joining us? And at the time I was like, ooh, I had chemistry, y'all. And so I was like, my mind was, it was all over the place.
Chemistry's life.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And so I was like, ooh, do I have to do a lot? But she convinced me because she was like, oh, we're looking for a teen or like younger than us, you know, to like bring in. And I was like, oh, I mean, sure. I was a little hesitant, not gonna lie, but I joined. Rose contacted me actually, and we started that whole onboarding process. And it was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know what I was doing. Rose was very helpful though, so shout out to her. Made it a safe space for me. And yeah, I just slowly started getting involved in your guys' meetings, virtual meetings. And it was a whole new setting. It was, again, very scary. I felt a little bit like I shouldn't be there, but it got better. It got better, and you guys integrated me really well, and I really appreciate it. And now I'm happy to be a part of a group like you guys.
We're her only friends, by the way. No, just kidding.
You think she's joking, but she's not.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't even know what I was doing either.
Thank you, Jair.
Louise, what did we do for Wishing? What Jair was talking about?
Respect, protect, connect. That was
That's what we called it.
Yeah. It was we started doing these sessions, hosting these sessions for. It was a program where we hosted like three sessions for parents and their teens to talk about sexual health, and it was a really cool experience. We did it at the
River City Church.
River City Church, River City Church in Fourth Plain. So it was like a local thing, and basically we invited the parents and their teens, and you know, for those it lasted from like Friday through Sunday, I believe. Friday through Sunday, and we had different speakers, different.
It was like both in Spanish and in English.
Yeah, and it was in Spanish and in English, and regardless, we were like able to translate and stuff like that, and That one was one of the cooler ones, just because like the amount of response that we got from the parents and stuff like that, and from their teens, and the activities we were able to do. That one was really cool. It was a lot of it was like a lot of like moms and daughters, uh, and I remember that. Like I remember not seeing like a lot of like I don't think it was any dads in
I
there.
think so.
Maybe like one or two.
Yeah, maybe like one or two, but that was what we did for that, and that was really cool.
A lot of the conversations we had too, and topics we had, we don't really talk about in like Latino community and stuff.
And like, shout out to our participants because, having to talk about like sexual health with your parent right next to you is kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, right? You can see why the dads didn't even go. You know what I mean?
Maybe they
Or
could've
like a
been
lot of
working.
them. I mean, yeah, they could have been working, or you know what I'm saying. Regardless, it's like a tough conversation to have. But yeah, shout out to them for like showing up, and we also gave them like an incentive and stuff.
And being open to those conversations.
yeah, that one was really cool.
And you know what I really appreciated? That almost all, I think literally every person who came the first day also came the last day.
Yeah, that's too.
I think they were like, is it going to be more?
Yeah, yeah, they did.
That was actually a thing right after the 3 days were over. Like all moms were sharing contact information and they were like, we should have this again. Like this is something our community needs and we need to continue it. And so they were asking for that workshop to continue on in the future.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool experience because that just goes to show how impactful it was and how everyone appreciated it and they're open to it. So
Yeah, and I know for that event we had Jeannie Gomez, we had Rodolfo, and I think we also had a YWCA representative who came to talk to parents. And they're all familiar with like our culture and our, with Latinos, so they could all connect with parents in that way.
We also had like vendors, I guess tablers, to like help share like resources. Like I think like the library was one of them. Obviously the YWCA was one of them.
the Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club, Planned Parenthood was there also.
So Respect, Protect, Connect was another one of the bigger projects we helped worked with. Just like we did with Orugas and Mariposas, where Orugas and Mariposas was more student focused. Now, Respect, Protect, Connect was more, parent and student focused.
If I remember correctly, for Wishin, we participated. At least it was my first exposure to grant writing. We actually helped in the grant writing process of that, and that's something cool about being an intern for LNW. Like you get to be exposed to these new settings, and I really enjoyed it.
And also that reminds me, like, as we were working on Wish and stuff, on the other end, like on the behind the scenes, our team was trying to get more organized. This is like the first time that LNW has ever had interns, like this type of program. So on our end, they were trying to, we were trying to get organized. All of us, this was so new to us too. For Diana Avalos, for Rose, for LNW as a whole, it was so new too. So we were all trying to figure out like the structure and how this is going to work, and what do meetings look like? What will our tasks look like?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, some of us were also attending like summer school, right? So that also played into a factor. But nonetheless, I think we did a good job organizing ourselves.
Rose did really well.
Shout out to Rose.
Guys,
real.
Rose is the best.
Yeah, I think one thing to mention is that like we're all students and we're all attending school, and so like how we manage to balance, school and like being interns for Latino Leadership Northwest, it's like something that like we also had like to like kind of like figure out at that time.
I mean, everyone else also is really like flexible and like understanding
Yeah.
of all the stuff we do.
And because of the work that we've done with LNW and the fact that LNW is getting, bigger with a bigger team and a bigger outreach to people, they kind of shifted to like a healing type of era for 2023. So in 2023, we didn't do as much as like bigger projects like those, but we did work a lot on the behind the scenes type of stuff. And that brings us to like present day, where obviously we we did go out into the community, and we did do a few little mini events. Like we did our second Dia de los Niños event with library, because we also did it during COVID time, and we did it online.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And so our second but first in-person Dia de los Niños event was in 2023. And so we were still out there doing a few things, but most of the work that we were doing with LLNW
Could I
was...
stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Is anyone feeling bored? Because I'm not. We also helped form the board. We pretty much like
I got it now.
the board members. So pretty much people you see on the website, like help support us and all that. We pretty much hired
Oh
them.
my god! I just got what you said. I was like, what? I was like, what are you
Yes.
talking about?
Give me a
Jesus Christ!
But yeah, we pretty much.
That was crazy.
I think Rose was like, "We need a board,"
Yeah.
and then they're like, figure out like community members you'd
Yeah.
like to interview to figure out who would
Yeah.
be a
yeah.
great
Yeah.
opportunity of being on the board.
Hmm.
And we pretty much just like, what do they call them? Recruiters? We were pretty much like recruiters interviewing.
We
them.
came up with the questions too,
Mhm.
right? That's
Mhm.
crazy.
And you're probably asking yourself, what is a board? Good question. We still don't know. I'm just kidding. A board is kind of like a group of leaders who, they're like volunteers and they sit on a board and they kind of talk about the organization that they're working with. And it's kind of a way for it to not be like biased with like future decisions, and like a board is also in charge of like who's the next, like who will the next director be, which is something that's in LNW's future plans.
If you guys like want more information on that, I know that Pamela and Luis did a presentation on it. I can't.
It was for NAWA.
Yeah, nonprofit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can look at that as well. I'm pretty sure
I don't think Luis remembers because he's looking at me weird. But we did do it. We hosted it. And yeah, we basically talked about what a board is. I believe the video is still up on their website. And we did it in Spanish, which again, we have to share resources out in Spanish, guys. Like that's an important aspect of what Latino Leadership Northwest does and it focuses on. But yeah, we did that. I believe it was at the end of like spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also did another NAWA presentation.
Mhm.
It was about, I guess, our work we did.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I mean the other big thing that we did the year was the Latino Leadership Conference, right? Those were like I'd say the two big things that happened in 2023. Besides the work that we're already doing as interns, which is again social media, blogs and community interviews and all that stuff. Basically brings us to now.
To
the now, right?
This is our bigger project of the year.
and now we're here, guys, and you know, this is a project that we're having, and this is the the first episode just to introduce to you, whoever's watching, who we are, and letting you know that we're gonna continue to make more episodes and hopefully bring people for the following ones. So,
Should I shout out my mom?
saludos a todas las mamás
A la ma.
Y los papás.
y los
Don't
papás.
forget
A
the
la
dads.
And we hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. Just a little glimpse into us,
Yeah,
the Mariposas, our work, LNW.
yeah.
We're not just pretty faces. We're not
You
the photos on social media. We also do some work, some light work here and there.
We help with the conference.
Yeah. You'll get to know us more as we go, but yeah. I mean, I don't know how to close this out since it's our first one, but thank you for
Follow us on
watching.
follow us on TikTok,
Oh.
Instagram, Facebook.
Pretty
And the
much
Discord.
All of the social medias we have, except for
We're gonna
Twitter.
link this wherever we post this. We're gonna link all that stuff. So thank you for watching,
At Latino Leadership Northwest.
and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.